U.S. Education Secretary Linda McMahon is on a mission to send education back to the states. She's touring schools in South Florida to look at the very successful schools choice initiatives. And she says not only is she impressed by what she sees, but she thinks that other states can learn a lot from what we're doing here.
The state of Florida has had such a free choice in education for so long, and they really have set the standard, and it really shows in their scores.
McMahon isn't relying on just reports and test scores to see what makes kids want to learn.
Seeing how much fun these kids were having learning. I mean, they just were joyful. They were reciting, they were telling me poems, they were singing, they were going through their times tables.
She says President Donald Trump's plan is to send education back to the states and empower parents to choose how they want their children to learn, whether that's in a public school, a charter school, a private school, or a home school.
Children are sponges.
Right.
They want to learn. Everything that they do, their curiosity, is without limit almost all of the time, unless we put limits on it. The president believes, as do I, that the best education is that's local in the community, with teachers and with parents and with superintendents who are focusing on what the needs of their children and their communities are. And nobody can do that better than locally. So I think there are so many examples, in Florida that we can take away from this and show other states, how to do it.
That I'd love to see, as the president talks about doing away with the Department of Education from a federal level, and ideally, I'd love to see just that block grant come down to the states and allow us to do what we do best, and that's really work on education. I think it's best served at the state level, to be honest with you.
Senator Corey Simon chairs the state legislature's Senate Committee on Education for Pre-K through 12th grade. He's also known as the godfather of school choice in Tallahassee. He says the key is focusing on the individual needs of the students.
How do we get little Johnny to sit down and learn about something that may be interesting, and not just how to check a box on a test? If it doesn't meet the needs of that child, then we need to make sure that we're allowing that child to get in the best school for them, right? Not the best school for the system, not the best school for the parent. It's the best school for the child.
President Trump understands that education, it's not a one-size-fits-all approach. Choice matters. And, every parent could tell you that every kid in their household are totally different. They don't learn the same.
That's Joe Strada, owner of Strada Services. And he says even business leaders know that a strong education system lays the foundation for future success, saying the kids of today become the adults who join the workforce tomorrow and become skilled contributors to the economy.
That's a game changer that could be a game changer for our country and our kids in their future.
And even though McMahon was here to tour the schools and look at the Schools Choice Initiative, she did talk about DEI, or diversity, equity, inclusion. And she said that despite the trillions of dollars that has been spent on education over the many years, that the test scores have only gone down, that kids need to get back to the basics, which is reading, writing, and arithmetic, and that indoctrinating kids in school is not what children need. Anita Padilla, the news director here at Florida's Voice.